Nightwing issue 88. Tom Taylor writing, Bruno Redondo on the art, and I guess that's I suppose the first thing I would say about this basically perfect issue of a comic book is
just let Tom Taylor do whatever he wants.
Not to spoil any minutiae of the thoughts.
Yes,
I like this more than the last issue.
Yeah,
I know the last issue was amazing. It was that that amazing one shot
for different reasons though. Like they're both great for different reasons. This is much more my vibe. This is, if anybody ever wants to know why I love Dick Grayson as a character so much, it's this issue. I'll just hand him this issue and go, he kind of is the crux of the DCU. And, he is that heartbeat. He is, and this is why. It's not just because he's Nightwing or Robin or because of who Dick Grayson is. He's kind of the child of the DCU.
And that's why it's perfect that it starts off with a full page spread of him just looking at the city, his city, It's just
Bloodhaven.
Here's Nightwing, in all his glory. And it sets up, and I actually love this 2-part tease at the start where both Blockbuster and Babs both have their own, basically the same conversations, where Blockbuster's talking to an assassin of some kind, saying, okay, so you're going to do this today, right? Yep. Yeah, by the end of the day, Dick Grayson's going to die. And then on Babs' side of things, she's talking to someone, and do you know what's funny? I was trying to guess it from the computer screen, like who it was. Yeah. And I was like, you know what? If I was to guess who this person is based on those shoulders, I would say Mr. Terrific. And then when the Titans show up later, I thought, oh, that's fair enough. It was just a representation. But then Mr. Terrific actually showed up, and I felt like a goddamn genius.
Yeah?
Yeah. Can we talk that the art on these 2 pages is spectacular? Like, both of them have the exact same layout.
But
the only difference being the location on the left.
The size of the building obviously is much smaller.
It's small, relatively speaking, small. It's still like 4 or 5 stories, whatever it is, but comparatively small versus the big skyscraper. And it's huge towering monolith.
Right, and the difference between Dick Grayson and Blockbuster and what they want to do, right?
Yeah, it's one's again, relatively speaking, at street level, living with the people. The other one is towering above everything, looking down.
Right, and even color schemes as well. You got the red on the Blockbuster page from the screen with the assassin, and then you got green obviously on all the Oracle screens. So,
but it's like Dick wants to build up the city, right? And Blockbuster almost wants to tear it down.
I don't think he wants to tear it down. He just wants to lord over it.
Yeah, I was look down on it. Yeah,
but no, that's what I mean by tear it down. It's like it's not like Bloodhaven sucks, and it benefits him to keep it that way. He doesn't want it to. He doesn't want Dick Grayson to put in all of this money to make the city better, because when the city's better and the people care about each other, Blockbuster can't do what he does. And again, it's so funny that to me, this is a Daredevil story, but with smiles instead of,
misery.
Like everything about like they're almost
even a Batman story then.
But like there's always a darkness to
I get where he's coming from. It's very Daredevil-esque as opposed to feeling.
Well, to be fair though, I think the character of Nightwing and Daredevil have been heavily compared for decades at this point. This is not a new comparison.
And even the cut of Blockbuster always reminded me of Kingpin. It can't ever be can't be a coincidence.
The fact that this run I have often thought about as being like very comparable specifically to the Wade Samney Daredevil run, and the color tones and everything and all that.
He's gonna bust in a shirt that says "I'm not Nightwing."
no, because the whole point of this issue is
I'm not Dick Grayson.
Yeah, Nightwing's going to wear "I'm not Dick Grayson" on his suit.
There you go. Right? But it's just Redondo here taking time and like getting as great as those big shots of the city are. Like that opening page is beautiful.
Yeah,
all the little stuff. The interactions between all of the characters in this one is what sells it for me.
What's beautiful about this? So you got these teases. Dick's going to go to this, groundbreaking of the. It's basically it's this the area all the homeless kids were staying. They're going to build something there that actually helps homeless kids, and that's the whole idea, right? So he's going down to make this speech, and he's insisting that Babs and the dog shouldn't come, but they're like, no, we're coming. Tough, tough titty Dick. This I know what you're like, but we're coming.
Breakfast from Tomasi's Deli.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh yeah, I didn't even notice that actually. That's nice catch.
Oh, this one's full of them.
Yeah. And so obviously we have the sniper already there. And we have all this going on, and we hear the bang and all the rest of it. what I love about this is that just before it reveals the rest of the team, which is obviously great and fun in all of its own ways, the idea that Babs, even if it was just the one person, like if she just, because the first person you see is Starfire, who's the one who actually blocks the, very funny, who blocks the bullet and bends the gun. And I was like, the idea that Babs reaches out to Starfire, Dick Grayson's ex, to be like, hey, come and help protect Dick because someone's going to try and kill him.
Yeah,
it's just
more important things.
Yeah. It's just very wholesome. But then the fact that you go through that 2-page layout and it ends with Donna Troy just crushing the bullet in her hand.
Yep.
And or earpiece, sorry, it's earpiece.
It was when I got to this page, Starfire. I'm like, oh yeah, and then you go across and you see and you go, oh, all the Titans are here. Clearly,
it's going to be all of them.
They're all there.
Well, and then
I'm going to love this issue.
Yeah.
And then Babs on the next page is like, yeah, I can see Starfire, and then there's a Green Eagle story. You're like, oh, okay. We're doing this. It's this team.
The only downside to this is that it makes you sad that some of these characters aren't in a better book currently right now to enjoy. But that's not Taylor's fault.
But that's okay. This makes it feel more special to me because when I saw Starfire, I got pumped because
because you love seeing Starfire and absolutely.
Well, yeah, but I'm not reading her monthly in a book right now, right? So and then when I see Beast Boy too, who I also
well, just to sort of go into the minutia of this, right? So. Those two appear to take out the first sniper. That's Gun Bunny. Yep. But there's what's the other one? Gun something.
Gun Hawk.
Gun Hawk. There you go. So, but Gun Hawk's still out there because they work in pairs, and Babs is familiar with them enough to know this. So, I'm sure the next person to swoop in is Wally, right? So, I love that even though Wally's moved on and he's the Flash now, it's like, no, he's still going to swoop in. There's still going to be Titans. It's fine. Yep. And he's like, have you got a costume with you? Okay. I love the end of this page. What are you going to choose? Piggy Pack or Cradle? I love that. I love that question.
Neither are that dignified. Well, you got to pick one.
I like that. We got a couple of pages until we come back to it, and it's like, piggyback it is.
Yes.
It chose the piggyback, did we?
Yeah. So, Mr. Terrific obviously is not part of the Titans traditionally, but he is here.
I like seeing him.
Yeah, but he is here because he has helped design a new version of Nightwing suit. And it looks, visually it's the same, but the
stripe goes down his arm and onto his over his hand now.
Yeah,
finger stripes.
But it's thin. He can wear it under his clothes, and it's still bulletproof. So the idea being that even if he gets shot at as Dick Grayson, he'll still take
stab proof as well.
Stab proof, yeah.
Well, yeah, it's he's working on it because it's real hard to make armor. I
think it's easy to just say that as it's the throwaway techie comment, but. Given that, and again, we're reintroduced to the man grabbing the hearts in this issue, which it's been a little while since we've dealt with that.
Yeah.
The fact that it's this is better defending against pointed objects than most of the suits traditionally are. I think might actually be important given the way the tool that he uses to get the hearts.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, yeah, but ultimately, it's here because the dynamics have changed a little bit. And his life as Dick Grayson is actually a little bit more dangerous than his life as Nightwing is right now. I mean, that's even a joke at the start, is that he went to get breakfast as Nightwing because going as Dick gets more attention at the moment.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a joke. And Blockbuster's so determined to have him killed that he had a failsafe in place if the assassins didn't succeed. So he's got a squad of thugs who come in. And it's like, okay, so this is basically, okay, the Titans have got a group of people to fight, and this is where the rest of them show up. And we see Beast Boy, Raven, Cyborg. We get a full page spread, big Titans together, all that nonsense. And it's just delightful. It's this idea that everyone who cares about Dick, showing, and it's not even everyone, it's just the Titans, right? That's who Babs put in the call to.
It's the Titans and Mr. Terrific.
Yes.
Well, and you gotta go because the tech kind of side of things.
And I'm sure we all enjoyed Starfire basically saying, try me, Blockbuster. Go on, try me.
I love it. I love when they make
Starfire doing anything.
Yeah, I love it that people tend to forget because a lot of people are more familiar with Starfire from the animated Teen Titans show, right? So they see her as the teenage version, but people forget she's taller than most heroes. So the fact that you see her and then Blockbuster's still bigger than her and she's telling him, try me, I love it.
Yeah, but it's this idea that if they actually physically fight, this is one of the few people that Blockbuster will get his ass handed to him by.
Yeah,
there's her, Superman, and a few other obvious examples.
I love that Beast Boy just
Beast
pops
Boy.
in.
Yeah,
it's like this is so Titans, right?
Yeah. God. Maybe Tom Taylor's working on a Titans book.
Don't get your hopes up, Matt. Don't get your hopes up.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe one day in the future. Let's not jump to it.
How many times did we bring up him writing Superman? Sure, he's writing John, but he finally got it. We brought up him writing Nightwing, right?
I think he is writing a Titans book, except it's called Revolutionaries.
We'll get there in John Kent's book. But yeah, no, Beast Boy here. This is peak Beast Boy for me.
So yeah, then we go to the assassin did get away, Gunhawk. Gunhawk. Gunhawk is the guy. Gun Bunny's the girl. Yes. I wanted to correct myself and call him Hawk Bunny there. I was like, this
Hawk Bunny. Yeah.
That's a weird thing. But yeah, so yeah, we got Heartbreaker or whatever he's. Did he have a name? I'm forgetting.
Heartless.
Heartless. There you go. That's the one. Right. So Heartless is there, and he's basically saying, "Hey, I've got dibs on Nightwing's heart, and you try to take that from me. So I'm not very pleased about it." I like the little touch here as well. So one, I like the idea that he's pissed about this and he's intervening. So it keeps that thread of him being like this underlying menace as the rest of the plots are going on, which is really cool. But I love this little detail here at the end where he basically wants to make sure that he actually cares about someone and that someone will care about him being gone because it makes the heart more, I don't know, tantalizing or valuable to him.
It has no worth otherwise.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, he has his big phallic like extractor gun thing that goes out and takes it.
Clunk.
Yeah. I mean that's literally the sound effect that they've put in there.
Oh, I was reading it.
So really good stuff. We got the Superman team up next issue, which is cool.
Yep. And then that's a two-part, right? It's one part in this and one part in
Yeah, so it's 1 month. It's a 1 month thing because it's
yeah.
God,
man, these two and just Redondo, drawn all my favorites.
Oh yeah, I mean the art is phenomenal. I mean we mentioned a lot of those first few pages, but yeah, everything with the Titans, that full page spread. I think my favorite page of the Titans though is probably that reveal of Starfire and Donna Troy. I think that the way it goes from one side to the other, was like, okay, Starfire's an X, of course she would show up, but then when it's Donna, it's like no, the entire original New Teen Titans have shown up.
So I was managed to be spoiler free throughout, so I hadn't seen any of the images or anything. I just saw people talking up how great this was, and then when I saw Corey go, "Oh, we're getting the Titans, aren't we?"
I saw people talking about how good it was as well, but I see that every month when Nightwing comes out, so I didn't think anything of it.
Yeah, no, me neither, and that's why I was just like, and so when I finally read it this morning, it was such a joy.
It was just happiness.
Yep.
Yeah, it was one of those things where I'm getting towards the end of the issue and I'm just kind of thinking, like, this is basically just perfect. This is the next perfect issue in what's mostly been perfect issues. There's been a couple of slightly less than perfect issues. That's about it.
Yeah, the Fair State tie-ins weren't the best, but they were still very readable.
Yeah, they were still very good.
Not perfect.
Yeah. So like I don't know, this is like an all-timer run. Like if this keeps this up, this is up there with like all of my favorite runs that I can think of. Where it's something special, and
this is going to be a perfect Omni down the line, right?
Hopefully multiple volumes of an Omni.
I mean, yeah, even if it's just one big one, I'll take it.
Yeah, one of those 1,500 page beasts.
Yeah, a good like 12 to 1,500 pages. Yeah, I just talk about one tiny art touch that I loved. It's a tiny little detail.
Okay.
It's right at the end where Heartless is slamming Gunhawk against the wall. It's the panel where he's like, "Who hired you?" He's got the hand on the throat, and he slams him against the wall. We don't see the wall, but he slams him against the edge of the panel, and it breaks his head just slightly through the panel, and it cracks into the white border, and it's just this extra touch that where the border then becomes part of the issue. So good.
I gotta look this up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I gotta look this up real quick.
Yeah. All right. Well, while Matt's having a look then, Matt, give us your rating.
10.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a 10. It was the first day I read, and I was like, God damn it, nothing else this week's going to match up. Like, there's no chance.
Yeah, I'm also going 10 for the record, just in case it was in doubt.
Once Connor said he liked this one more than the last one, which the last one was great, like a visual. I've never read a comic like that. That's fantastic. I was like, okay, we're lining up on this.
Yeah, I was like, maybe I'm tipping my hand because I think I gave that like a 9 or something.
Yeah.
Or maybe a 9.5. I don't remember off the top of my head, but I gave it a high score.
Yeah.
I was like, it was always a 10. As soon as I read it, I just knew that, no, that's a 10.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes you just know a term when you walk into it.
Mm-hmm.
This is basically what it boils down to.